Welcome to Politics Done Right on KPFT. I am your host, Egberto Willies. This is the progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. Give me a call at 713-526-5738. That is 713-526-KPFT. Remember, you can also send me a tweet to EGBERTOWILLIES. That is at Egberto Willies. Let us engage. It is politics done right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, folks, welcome to one more edition of Politics Done Right. I'm Egberto Willies, your host. Thank you so kindly for being a part of the show. We're going to have a great show today. Aren't we going to have a great show, my dear Shannon?
You know we will.
I mean, look, folks, you know we're in Fun Drive, but guess what? We're having a show, so keep those ears and don't change that dial because we have a lot to talk about and there's a lot that you're going to be interested in. And here's what's most important. Hi, Wendy Green from Canada on Facebook Live. And let me tell you something, folks. If you right now when you call the line, you're going to get to Fun Central. If you also want to get directly to me, just send a tweet and use the hashtag Politics Done Right. My tweet is Egberto Willies is my tag, my Twitter handle. But do remember, if you just tag it, Politics Done Right, and we can go ahead and have a talk, okay? Over Twitter if you have a message that you want me to talk about on air. But anyhow, how are you doing, my dear friend Shannon?
I'm doing well. You know, I've been looking forward to having you back.
Yes, we're here together.
We're here to bring the information.
Absolutely.
And this is a big day. You know.
Oh. Why? You know, the way you said this is a big day, it sounded like you're saying, oh, it's a grandiose day.
No, they keep giving us things to talk about.
I know.
So that's why I was excited to have you, because I know this subject is right up your alley.
Yes, and you know what, though? We are going to tell folks what they have to do. We know Trumpcare is here. People to thank.
And you know that if you usually hear, like lately I've been starting to hear the trickle of information only through our own shows like The Attitude.
Yes.
Shows like, Democracy Now! Is
Right.
speaking about it. But you've been covering it for so long.
You know, let me tell you something. We've been covering it for so long. And the reason we have been covering it for so long is because we know the severity of what was going on.
And the closed door meetings, all of this.
And we knew that all the Russia stuff, as important as it was a lot of smoke and mirrors. And when everybody was saying there's no way in hell that they're going to pass it in Congress, and they did. And they said there's no way in hell they're going to pass it in the Senate, and they're about to.
Yeah, well, I mean, distraction is a horrible thing. I mean, there's just too much going on.
Yes.
I mean, it's important to know what's going on with the Russia investigation. It's important for all these hearings. But, my God, when you can't be distracted from everything else.
You know, Naomi Klein says it best when she talks about, she had it in the shock doctrine when she wrote that book about how these different countries were taken over based on shock. Well, it's a bit deeper than that.
You know, she has a new book.
She has a new book out. Tell us a little bit about that.
No is Not Enough is her new book.
And she has a small video that's been going viral on the internet talking about it. So why don't you tell us a little bit of what folks can get with that book?
Well, it's called No It's Not Enough, Resisting Trump's Shock Politics and Winning the World We Need. That's at the $100 pledge level. Actually, Amy Goodman is sending them down from Democracy Now!
Great.
From the studios. She signed them last week, Naomi Klein.
She signed them all?
Yes.
Wow.
So there's a limited supply. I think there's about 40. But that number's dwindling now.
And what's that offer that But folks, let me tell you, please stay online and please stay on your radio because we're not only going to be pitching you, we are going to be talking some stuff here,
Of course, we're going to be bringing blogs that we always do and the discussion that you love. Unfortunately, you can't call in today to join the conversation, but we do want to hear from you. So dial 713-526-5738 to pledge your support to this show.
Get that Naomi Klein book. What is it called again?
It's called No Is Not Enough.
And what is the pledge for in that one?
That is $100 for a signed copy.
Come on, folks, you got to do that. And we also have a similar book from Marcos Maulitzes, who is the founder of Daily Kos. It's called The Resistance Handbook, 45 Ways to Fight Trump by Marcos Maulitzes. It's a great book. It's a friend of mine. He's the guy who started the most liberal website on the planet called Daily Kos, dailykos.com. So please do remember, folks, please go ahead and sign up for that. We're going to have a great show. So what are we going to talk about today? We have a lot to talk about today. The title of the show today is going to be The Democratic Party Does Not Need a Civil War Now Nor Later. Again, we don't need a civil war now nor later. Well, actually, that is the title of the blog of the week. The title of the show is The Democratic Party Civil War is Unnecessary. Trumpcare Requires Unity. And I want you to sit back when we get into that topic and talk about it. But most importantly, before we get there, I'd like to hear those phones ringing at 713-526-5738. Before we get into the blog of the week, I'd like to have some calls so I can get out and say, hey, guess who thought that politics done right is worth
supporting?
Supporting.
And you know what? We
Yes.
have Greg in Pledge Central to join us. Isn't that great?
Hey, Greg, how you doing, buddy?
I am good, and I am so excited about Trumpcare. I don't have to worry about my retirement anymore. I don't have to worry about getting old.
Because you'll be dead, Greg.
Yes, but it's taking so much relief and pressure off of me. No, honestly, I think this is a travesty. It's a disgrace for the nation, and I love what you said about this is not the time for a civil war in the Democratic Party.
No, it's not.
And I'm absolutely appalled by people who say, oh, well, Hillary and Obama, they're just like Trump.
No, that is. Let me tell you, any activist or any leader who says that is irresponsible. We have a responsibility to the people who follow us, and we have a responsibility to be honest with these people. There's nothing close between Hillary Clinton and Senor Trump. Neither Barack Obama. Those two all have their plutocratic problems. I won't deny that. I've spoken about that. That is the reason I was a Bernie supporter. But when it comes to bells and whistles, it is we as activists, it is our responsibility to persuade people. Anybody who is listening out there, I don't go about fighting folks and having wars and all that kind of stuff because we don't solve problems that kind of a way. I go about attempting my best. You do as well, Greg. Shannon does. What we do is we try to convince folk with evidence.
We try to inform.
Thank you. And in so informing, persuade them to take the information that we're giving them, look it up. If you want to validate what we're saying, that is what we're all about. So remember, folks, go ahead, Greg. Oh, is Greg gone?
Yes, he's dealing with other issues. But
yes,
you have the point. You know that you need to be informed. You know that you tune in each week because you not only enjoy the engaging discussion, not only we listen to each other. Sometimes you don't like what Egberto has to say, and you tell him, and it's a dialogue.
Who doesn't like what Egberto has to say?
Well, there's plenty of callers I talk to.
No, I don't believe that for a second.
Sometimes that's what inspires people to call.
And you know what is so interesting as well? There are even times that Shannon will say, Egberto, I don't necessarily agree with that, and we also talk about it. And that's what liberalism is all about. That is what progressivism is all about. Being able to talk things out because you get better policy, you get better everything. Don't you agree, Greg?
I do. And let me say, I believe in making my choices in the primaries.
Right.
And really, I will say that's true, whatever party you belong to.
Absolutely so.
But once you make your choice, once your party makes the choice, that is the time to stop criticizing, shut up, get behind your candidate, and work like hell for the person that you believe in, whatever party they're in.
And that's how you win, because that is the reason we also have a platform. The platform is our aspiration. The people that we get out there to go ahead and live by that platform, a lot of times they fail, right? But we have a living document that we're using as a party to attempt to get what needs to be done. Greg, I want to get a little bit into the show. While I'm getting into the show, I want to ask folks to please go ahead and call 713-526-5738. Again, that is 713-526-5738. Please don't wait till the end and keep us hanging like last
No, we
week.
want to talk to you now.
We want to talk to you now. We need your pledges now. Now we're about to start the show in earnest. Folks, the name of the show today, Democratic Party Civil War, Unnecessary Trumpcare Requires Unity. Folks, today we will talk about the just released Senate version of Trumpcare and the ongoing civil war within the Democratic Party. The Senate will try to ram through their bill at all costs. It is up to progressives and moral Republicans to put a stop to it. Period. Remember that we are in fund drive, so please call 713-526-5738 or visit kpft.org now to keep our progressive radio on the air. The right invest in the resources and the source of information they want. Please, progressives, invest in sources of real information like KPFT, the Daily KOS, and other liberal sources of information. But before I get to the program, I want to remind all our listeners that KPFT is a bastion of intelligent voices and programs. As a political activist myself, my favorites are The Monitor with
Mark Babawi.
Absolutely.
That's
so on.
every Monday at 7 p.m.
Then we have Think Wing Radio with
Mike Honig. That's every Monday at 9 p.m.
And of course we have Partisan Gridlock with
Jeff Berg every Friday at 3 p.m.
And there is Open Journal with
Marlo Blue and Dwayne Bradley and a host of other fantastic people.
Absolutely.
I think you get an A+ Shannon.
Thanks.
You passed.
I pass this quiz every
Oh,
week.
every single time. Jazz!
Well, we haven't talked about when it was. It's
Oh,
every
yes.
weekday mornings at 8 a.m. But during the fun drive, sometimes it's pushed back to 9.
But it's at 8 o'clock on the right after Fun Drive. So, folks, don't forget, that is a wonderful show that we must have around. Then we have Jazz Latino Afro-Cuban Latin Jazz at its best, hosted by
Juan Flores. That is every Monday at 10 p.m. And I had the
Yes.
good pleasure of pitching with Juan.
Oh, nice.
On
Juan is a
Monday.
great
It was
guy.
a lot of fun.
Absolutely so. Now we had we next have The Human Condition at 3 p.m. followed by The Free Minstrel Show with Don and Dwayne at 4 p.m. on Fridays on the KPFT HD3 side. So folks, check out our full schedule at kpft.org where you can find programming from music to politics to the eclectic. KPFT is a listener-supported public community radio station, so please remember that if you like what you hear, visit kpft.org.
And push that donate button.
And push that donate.
And scroll down to Politics Done Right as the show you want to support.
Absolutely.
But if you support a slew of shows here at KPFT, we are happy to hear about it. And it all goes to the same place, but it's nice to have credit.
Absolutely. So, folks, we want to ensure we remain a strong, a viable community radio station that provides news, programming, and information, not influenced by whom?
The corporatocracy.
Absolutely. So, folks, this is KPFT 90.1 FM in Houston, Texas. We want to hear your voice. We want to hear your thoughts. So, folks, right now that we're in Fun Drive, to reach us, go ahead and send a tweet to hashtag Politics Done Right. My handle is Egberto Willies, but go ahead and make sure you just do a Politics Done Right. I'm going to pull up my my Twitter program as soon as we move on here. But, again, folks, before I go into the blog of the week, I'd like to put one more pitch in before I get there and ask you to go to those phones right now. We need your support. Call 713-526-5738. Again, that is 713-526-5738. We have a plethora of gifts for you if you want some, or you can just go ahead and donate. I would love to see somebody give $10 a day. $10 a month, or whatever you have to offer. More if
whatever
necessary.
you can give in support of this radio program and support of this station.
Absolutely.
We need to hear from you. It's a gift that keeps giving for the entire community.
Absolutely. And again, remember, we are the last progressive, liberal bastion in the entire Southeast Texas.
And I don't know of a station that's more diverse than we are. Actually,
Tell us a little bit about that diversity.
Bringing music that you can't find anywhere else, like Jazz Latino.
Right.
And, or, wide open spaces, or having our guys in here, Generation, they rock. So I can't, it puts me in such a great mood on Thursdays.
Yes.
And then bringing in these call-in political shows, or Dr. Simotis on Fridays, where she can answer your medical questions, and she brings brings in emergency room doctors, GI doctors, so that you have an opportunity to ask those questions that you don't have the access to. If you don't have health care, it's nice to have a doctor for free on call.
Absolutely, and that's what we have here. So that's what we bring you. We bring you real community radio, and that is what it's all about. And that is what we are asking you. That is what we're asking you to support, folks. We work here on a shoestring budget, and we get it done. We're with old chairs. Like I was telling some of you last week, my daughter came here and she said, "Oh, Dad, you guys, all this equipment is 1970s." And we said,
we go
but
retro here.
Yeah, we go retro. We were back to the 70s, and it works. It works. It works. So, folks, give us a call. I'm going to the blog of the week next. Give us a call, 713. I'll give you 1 minute. That's all it takes for you to make that pledge. 1 minute before I start the blog of the week so that you can make your pledge and come back and listen. 713-526-5738. Hey, I see Dwayne in there. Come on in here, Dwayne. Where are you running from?
Woo! He's been
Get your
roped
butt in here.
So good to have Dwayne.
Have a seat.
Join us, Dwayne. Join us.
But you know the routine. Where's your headpiece? Here we go. No, pass that headpiece for me here. But anyhow, folks.
I can hear you, man.
You can hear me. Okay, good. So what's up, Dwayne? Folks, we have Dwayne in the studio right now. What I'd like you to do is while we talk with Dwayne before we get into the blog of the week, I'd like you to go ahead and make that call, please. 713-526-5738. Talk to me, Dwayne.
He was just trying to sneak in here and give me a hug.
I know, but and then you know what? I pulled him in. Talk to me.
I thought I was out, and they pulled me back in.
And
Never.
they pulled me back in.
Corleone and Godfather 3.
So what's up, Dwayne?
Hey, well, we just finished a great special edition of an open journal program we're going to use for the 4th of July with great Houston baseball legend Larry Durker.
Cool.
And that was a really great conversation Marlo and I got to have with Larry, talking about his career as a baseball player, a manager, a broadcaster, an author. And wide-ranging, and a lot of it, right here in Houston, that career was centered. So that's what brought me in this afternoon. Other than that, a lot of my spare time these days in retirement as general manager. A, I'm looking for a job. B, I'm taking care of my parents. And right now, taking care of mom and dad is the bigger part of those two things in the hours I have outside of coming in and doing the open journals in the morning.
Well, as they say, people who take good care of people who they care for are going to be intrinsically blessed. So that's a good thing. There you go.
All right.
And that has nothing to do with religion. It has everything to do with karma.
Well,
folks,
karma is a religion in a certain sense.
Well, I don't know about
it's not
that.
organized, but it's...
You may know that I don't. 713, folks, 526-5738. Give us a call, and Dwayne has a way that he uses that plastic word to say how to donate, and then we go into the blog of the week. So call now, go in the blog of the week. How does he say it?
Well, hey, first of all, it's fantastic plastic, and you can use Visa, Discover, American Express, or MasterCard. You can use any one of these forms of plastic, fantastic currency. Visa, Discover, American Express, MasterCard, cash, check, money order, electronic funds transfer, credit, debit, you name it. Make the call. Folks out the pledge table will do it all from there. So give them a ring, and they'll take care of everything.
45 seconds, folks. That's all it takes. And in 45 seconds, we're going to start the blog of the week. So come on, give us a call. Let me hear those phones ring. Is anybody on the phone right now?
Not yet.
Support politics done right. This is an important program. KPFT's 3 to 4 in the afternoon strip preceding the KPFT local news. All the programs, Monday through Friday from 3 to 4, these are all really important. These are really special, rare programs. The amount of work that I know Egberto puts in outside of KPFT, you look it up online. You check him out. You see what's happening out there.
He's everywhere.
Coffee Party, Indivisible. He's all over the place. And he's in here right now performing a public service. You're performing a public service when you call in and support him, support the station. You're supporting yourself. Complete that circle. Make that call that makes it all possible. Call now, 713-526-5738.
Thank you, Dwayne, for those kudos. Folks, please make that call now. But you know what time it is. I told you were getting a show. We're not just going to be asking for your donations, but you're getting a show. Do you know what time it is?
What time is it?
There you go.
It's time for the weekly blog post.
Okay, folks, the title of the blog of the week today: the Democratic Party does not need a civil war now. The Democratic Party does not need a civil war later. So we'll go as soon as my pad here decides that it wants to stop acting up. But it seems that I will read from my pad because it's coming back. But anyhow, what I want to discuss on that is as follows. I was a Bernie Sanders delegate at the Democratic Convention in Philly. I supported the policies he articulated and still do today. I went to Philly to fight as hard as possible to ensure that we would get a more progressive platform. I have written both at Daily Kos and at my own site, egbertowillies.com, about the strengths and flaws of each candidate as I saw them. Bernie Sanders supporters and Hillary Clinton supporters in almost equal amounts paid for my trip to the convention, folks. They all knew where I stood and were confident that I would do what was best for the party. That is what I truly believe is necessary for any party and its policies to succeed. One must move forward and work on persuading for the next cycle. When the process was over, I proudly supported the nominee of the Democratic Party, Hillary Clinton, 100%. To be clear, I had always thought, even when she ran against President Obama, that she was the most qualified on paper, immediately ready to run a government in 2008. I initially supported her, but switched to then Senator Obama after his South Carolina win. I'll leave that story for another day because it's a bit complicated. Anyhow, there are currently a lot of animosities between factions in the Democratic Party. Many women and men, especially baby boomers, feel there would not be another opportunity in their lifetime to elect a woman. Most Bernie supporters are justifiably upset that the Democratic establishment had a clear bias for Hillary Clinton. We are all grown-ups, folks. Politics can be rough. Every candidate wants to win. Their operatives pushed the envelope. It did not help that Russia assisted in creating divisions within the Democratic Party. Well, the election is over and Hillary Clinton lost in the Electoral College. Look, folks, there are two paths the party can take. They can relitigate the election which will get us nowhere, or they can move forward with a new resolve. The latter makes much more sense in my humble opinion. So, how do we get there? The different factions within the party have been so busy attacking each other that they forget the most important thing. Whether you are a Bernie supporter, a Hillary supporter, an establishment supporter, or a real progressive liberal lefty, every faction loves the Democratic Party and what it stands for. Mostly anyway. That is the reality. And let me pause from my blog of the week for a minute. We have to be, as human beings that decided to be on the left side of the spectrum, realize that while we have differences in approaches and how we do things, we all basically want the same things, albeit to some different gradations, but we do. Okay, so no one should be considered one's enemy or be so perturbed by that other person that we can't function and we self-destruct. That was my little segue out of my blog space, but I'm back. Many believe the establishment wing of the party is out of touch. The fact that sans President Obama, Democrats have been taking a shellacking in the aggregate throughout the states and nationally is evidence enough that, for all practical purposes, it is true. The establishment is out of touch. The establishment of the party must accept that responsibility. I mean, when you accept the responsibility, that's how you change. That's how you make things better. That's what you have to do. There's no shame in having lost your way. The shame is not doing what's necessary to get back on your way. Democrats lost elections for 4 Republican seats that, while difficult to win, were winnable. Ossoff should have been winnable. I don't remember the guy in South Carolina should have been winnable. The guy in Kansas should have been winnable. The president's historically low poll numbers, as well as the president and Congress unpopular health care bill, should have scared voters, at least some of the Democrats, or at least some to the Democrats. Think about that. That's how, in a lot of ways, the President Obama won. You know, folks who are, I mean, he got votes from everybody. He got folks from good people. He got folks from bad people. He got folks from racists. He got folks from votes from everybody. Why? Because people realize we needed a change. And this guy, this very progressive sounding guy, somehow then was going to be that change. That is what wins. But why didn't that happen in one of those 4 races? Why didn't we have a 25% success rate? Think our 50% success rate. Unfortunately, Democrats never made an aggressive enough narrative. The modus operandi was a caution at best or Republican light at worst. Going forward, it is evident to many progressives that change is necessary. The party must decide if it will be a corporatist party or a populist party or a progressive party or a center-left party. Some believe that it has to be a corporatist party to get the necessary funding to compete. Some think it needs to be a center-left party to attract the white working class. Some believe it must be a populist party, and some want a real progressive party. One should note that neither in the Ossoff election or the Trump election did the winner spend the most money. That should give everybody pause. That should give everybody pause. Bill Clinton, Al Gore, Hillary Clinton, and John Kerry all ran center-left campaigns with a touch of corporatism. Barack Obama, even as the corporatists gave him campaign funds, ran a relatively progressive campaign. Donald Trump ran a decidedly populist campaign that included racism, xenophobia, and economics to coalesce a base that even included many Democrats. President Obama's coalition so far is unmatched. Even as the Democratic Party in states and nationally got emaciated, his coalition held. His coalition held. It should be a study that the Democratic Party done. They didn't. All right. Democrats do not need a civil war that would lead to self-destruction to decide what type of party it needs to be. Progressives and establishment candidates alike must put up their candidates and messages and let the Democrats decide what kind of party they want. That's done in the primary, folks. Many establishment Democrats believe they must tailor their message and policies in a manner to appease Wall Street and corporations to get funds to be competitive. Progressives believe funding from the grassroots allow the party to live up to its values, not only in spirit, but in policies. When we query Americans about the things they want, their economics and social beliefs are decidedly progressive. They want Social Security. They want Medicare. They want Medicaid. They want all these good programs that protect the social, that are part of the social safety net. They want affordable and accessible health care. Specifically, they poll higher than not for single-payer health care. They want personal freedoms. They want an affordable higher education. There are ample polls out there that back this all up, my friends. If progressives can create a coherent, duplicatable, and believable message to match the desires of Americans with their candidates and policies, you know what? They will win. Otherwise, the establishment Democrats that many like to sneer at may turn out to be the realists, which means America would remain a corporate state where we relegate the masses progressively to indentured servitude as the status quo that continues the growth of income inequality and wealth disparity continues. So folks, so ends the blog of the week. I hope some of this is heeded because, like I said, we don't need a war in the parties. What we need is for people to go out there and fight for their beliefs. Not worried about what the other person is doing, but you fight for your beliefs and may the better one, the one that has the heart, the one that touches people, let that win. Folks, the telephone number 713-526-5738. We need your support to keep this program on air. 713-526-5738. We're going to get into a little Trumpcare after we do a little bit of pitching, asking you to go ahead and make those calls. I have a very high limit that I've got to reach today, and I don't think I've heard the phones ring yet. So please give us a call, 713-526-5738. You want to keep Politics Done Right on air? You want to keep this radio station on air? Please give us a call. And while you're calling, I want to remind folks that there is going to be a conference, and this is very important. Texans Against Mean Healthcare Bill. It's going to be Friday the 23rd. Texans Against Mean Healthcare. This is a very important event to go. It's being held at the Legacy Community Health at 3811 Lyons Avenue. Again, that is 3811 Lyons Avenue between 3 and 4 p.m. on the 23rd. In other words, I think that's tomorrow, the 23rd. We're going to have Texans Against Mean Healthcare. We need you to go. Now, let's go to Pledge Central. Do we have any calls yet?
We do not yet, but
yes.
I know that there is someone listening to me right now, and let me preface this by saying we appreciate every single donation. There is no contribution too small, and there is none too large. However, I know there is someone listening right now who believes in the message of this program, who can make a $500 contribution in one swoop, or $41.66 per month, or if they want to become a KPFT thousandaire, a $1,000 contribution can be broken down to $83.33 a month. And these monthly payments, being a sustaining member, are so important to the station because it helps us see how much money is coming in each and every month. You know, you wouldn't want to get paid 3 times a year by your boss and have him say, I don't know how much I'm going to give you next time, but it'll be a surprise to us both. No, you need a monthly budget so you know what's coming in. And Egberto, if you don't mind, I'm going to also announce that from 4:30 to 6, we are going to be doing a special on President Kennedy. That's going to be some of the unique programming that we're trying to bring during Pledge Drive, and I hope people enjoy it.
Thank you for that call.
Listen to that. Listen to that. Please call 713-526-5738. Whether you want to contribute $10 a month or $83 a month, we would appreciate every single contribution.
Absolutely, Greg. It's so important that they support the radio station. I mean, we are really good stewards of the people's money. We don't, again, like I explained, we keep a very light budget. We most of us out here are volunteers. We volunteer our time. Most of us as well are activists, and the reason we do this is because we do care about what's happening in our country. We realize that the current mainstream media is not giving you what needs to be given. They're not giving you the information that you should have so that you can make a valid choice, so that you can make an informed choice. And in doing so, the state of the country is in the state that it is in right now because there are not enough KPFTs out there, because a lot of times we haven't gotten the reach that we needed to get to ensure that we can overcome that bad stuff that's coming over the mainstream media, where for all practical purposes, not that the mainstream news media is lying to you, it's just that they're allowing the right to dictate what gets placed on air, Greg.
That's why we are not corporate media. That's why you're not going to hear about the Kardashians. That's why you're going to hear the real news that the other news doesn't have time for. In a 22-minute national broadcast, it is shocking how little actual news there is.
Right. And somehow they get time to give you some kind of mushy story, even though...
Well, they want to leave you feeling good before the commercial break.
And if we,
it's true.
And for those that cover the real news, you know, this is not a time to be feeling good. I'm sorry, folks. It is a serious time calling for serious attention to serious issues.
And that can be very exhausting, and I know that. I know that it's hard to... It's the drama of even looking at your phone in the morning to catch up on what you've missed, what disasters happen now.
But that's what they're counting on. That's what they're counting on with all these Twitter storms. Let's exhaust them so much with so much garbage, so much embarrassment, so much shame that the progressives are going to bury their head in the sand, say, we've lost, they won, it's done.
We can't do that. We can't do that at all. So, folks, we really need you to give us a call, 713-526-5738. Or do we have anybody on the phone yet? Or 713?
We are waiting for them, and I know that person that I'm talking to out there that can make that $500 contribution is sitting there saying, should I do it? Should I not? Yes, you should do it. But 713-526-5738.
We want those big contributions, but if you can't afford a big contribution, whatever you can afford, right?
We are so happy to have you as a listener as well as a contributor. You know, it's whatever you can do. I know as a recent graduate from college, semi-recent, that's still still paying loans. I know it's hard to, to answer to yourself saying, I cannot afford another payment. But I still need coffee in the morning, right?
Yes,
and
yes.
so I do that.
Right.
I make that excuse, or I decide to make that payment for myself, and I don't feel that. I don't. It doesn't hurt. I don't miss it, and I know that I'm actually actively supporting something I believe in, and that means something. That's going to the next level in deciding, I want to be a member of my community, and I want to support something I believe in, a place I believe in, because if it's not here, Houston's lost something beautiful.
Absolutely so. And folks, we come to you several times a year and we tell you, we're in crisis mode. And a lot of people would think and step back and say, they're always in crisis mode. And the truth is, we're always in crisis mode, because when you're running on shoestring budget like we are, we don't have that buffer where if somehow we don't make the pledges on time, or we don't get the pledges, we can somehow have a buffer to step on. We're out of buffers, and the only thing we can get when we don't make our quota is to have yet another drive, and we sure don't want to do that.
And we have so many great premiums. Not only do we have your book that we're offering at the $90 pledge level, and we can split that up and we send that your way once you have paid the majority of that off. But it's really cool that since we are a blend of music and talk here at KPFT, we have so many tickets that we offer.
Tell me about them.
You know what? I went last night because no one pledged for the Gypsy Kings. I went as a reporter and looked at what everybody was missing. And
you are so dedicated to your work, Shannon. You are so dedicated.
That was one heck of a show.
You had a great time.
It was so much fun. And not what made it even the next level of fun, because you're coming on KPFT's name, you get to go to the foundation room.
Wow.
And that room is amazing. I didn't even know anything about it. I never knew there was a special hidden back room that had just ornately decorated, and it's just an experience in and of itself.
Can I tell you an embarrassing story about the foundation room?
Sure, Greg.
The first time I discovered it, I went to a concert there, and we had such a good time in the foundation room, we'd skip the concert.
Oh, that's not good.
It's a great place to be. But, okay, so since you mentioned the Gypsy Kings, shame on you, but there are more concerts coming into town. Lake Street Dive, they performed last night on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. They are coming in September 6th.
Get those
That's
tickets.
at the $120 pledge level. That can be yours. We have 2 pairs left for Johnny Lang. He's coming September 15th. And Dr. John is coming September 21st. That's for 1 hour. If you support 1 hour of community radio here, that can be yours.
Please, folks, give us a call. We need to hear those phones ringing.
713-526-573. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, we don't have our first call yet. It's almost, the show is, we only have 21 minutes left in the show, folks. Give us a call, please. 713-526-5738. Every time we get that real blast at the end, we need the blast to start now. Please, 713-526-5738.
And you hear that crinkling of paper? That is me flipping through the lists of tickets.
Goodies, yes.
Yes. So Jack Ingram is coming to Heights Theater.
Thank you for that
call. That's June 29th, and we have 2 pairs left for that show. That's 1 hour of community radio as well, which means $150 at that pledge level.
Go.
We can send you there. But I do want to remind you, we still have Naomi Klein's signed book that we'd love to send your way. It's a brand new book, and it's called No Is Not Enough.
No is not enough,
She
folks.
spent 5 months writing this book. Usually she spends much longer on her pieces, but she was driven. There has been enough going on to write about.
Absolutely. So, folks, we really need to hear from you. 713-526-5738. And then, of course, there is Marcos Molitza's the founder of dailycoast.com. His book, The Resistance Hard Book, 45 Ways to Fight Trump. And I'm sure in that book he's going to talk about what I said just before I came to the show today, folks. And this is back into the show again, Trumpcare. I did a little one of my daily videos, and what I said on the videos is, I know people are panicking about Trumpcare right now, but folks, it's not official yet. It's pretty darn close to being official because these guys want to show that they are doing something. So it is your responsibility now. Everybody listening to my voice right now, it is time for us to use our bodies. It is time for us to use our fingers. It is time for us to use our mere presence, both at these guys' offices like we do every Tuesday, but now we're going to have to start arranging not only on Tuesdays to meet these guys, but we are going to have to be beating the pavement throughout the time between now and July 2nd, when I think they shut down for recess, because we have to ensure that these guys do not pass that bill. It is time for us to react. Folks, get to your friends. Most people, like a lot of you, are here listening. You hear about this all the time. So you think many other people know what's going on with Trumpcare. The fact of the matter is, many don't. You have to be the informers. We're telling you. You tell others. We got to get busy. Now, any of those calls turned into anything yet?
It looks like we have 2 pledges coming in.
We have 2 working. I'll update you on them in just a minute, but we need 2 more.
We need more. Come on, folks. Give us a call at 713-526-5738. Be a part of the solution. Let me tell you what we do here. We try very hard to keep you informed. Not only keep you informed about what's going on in politics, keep you informed that as far as how you can make a difference to change things. I don't remember if you remember back several months ago, Shannon, when the bill went to the House, and we created, and it wasn't just Politics Done Right or all the other shows here, but throughout the country, we coalesced into a message that scared the bejesus out of the Republicans who attempted to pass that bill, and it failed. But you know what? When things kind of quieted down, they brought it back up again and passed it and sent it to the Senate. Same thing happened in the Senate. We started to talk things like, oh, they'll never pass it, etc., etc. Several of us were writing. We were trying to inform folks both on the radio, through Facebook Live, through on air, through our newsletters and everything, that folks, it's going to happen. These guys are working behind the scenes while everybody's hyperventilating about Russia. And you know what? They were working at it in silence. They were working at it in secret. And now they have a bill that is ready to put on the floor for a vote. It is your responsibility, and we will be giving you directions throughout. In fact, like I mentioned earlier, there's going to be a big Texans Against Mean Healthcare rally, or not a rally, but an educational session at the Community Health Center at 3811 Lyons Avenue tomorrow at 4 p.m. Tomorrow at 4 p.m. that everybody needs to go to as well. Folks, 713-526-5738, 713-526-5738. As well, you can get my book, As I See It, Class Warfare, the only resort to right-wing doom. The only resort to right-wing doom, folks. It's not a book that just complains. It's a book that has solutions as well. What do we need to do as American citizens so that we can right this country, so that we can make this country the progressive bastion that it is, but not only and not just progressive for the sake of saying progressive, but progressive because it means we believe in humanity. We believe in people being treated right and people having the right to excel.
You know, Egberto, I want to tell you a couple of other people that I believe in very, very much.
Yes.
Because they believe in us. We want to thank John Winkler for a very generous contribution.
Thank you so kindly, John.
And we want to thank Bruce Pollard for another generous contribution.
Thank you so kindly. Bruce is a friend of mine.
It is proof that there are people out there who not only believe in what you're saying, not only enjoy what you're saying, but understand it is up to all of us to help share your news with everyone. Because when you pay your cable bill, when you pay your newspaper, it benefits the people in your home. But when you contribute to KPFT, you're benefiting all those who can't contribute and all those students who are listening. So, you know, your contribution here isn't just for you. It's not just for us. It's for our listeners as well.
Absolutely. So, folks, and we need some new listeners to call in. There are a lot of you out there. Let me tell you, everywhere I go, oh, I love the show. I love this. I love that. KPFT is the best station since apple pie. KPFT is the only station I listen to. KPFT is the only station I believe in.
Well, I hope you're a member.
Yes. Let me ask you, please, folks, whether you've told me that directly, you've told yourself that, or you feel that, or whether you listen to us all the times, We so need you.
And can I say, Egberto, that, with these generous contributions, our $800 that we need is down to $500 now.
Okay.
And it would be great if maybe we could get 5 people that can contribute $100 in the next 15 minutes.
Please.
And you could do it in a one-time charge, or $8.33 per month, or any contribution is appreciated.
Absolutely. Any contribution, just give us a call at 713-526-5738. Again, that is 713-526-5738. Trumpcare is not going to go away on its own. Trumpcare and the tax cut that's going to decimate the middle class is not going to go away on its own. That's what we bring here.
It's only going to hurt those that aren't multimillionaires.
Right.
It's only going to hurt the middle class, the lower class. The upper class is going to be just fine.
Absolutely. So, folks, please, we have about 14 minutes left. 713-526-5738. Make that call. You know that you need to be a part of the solution. Here's the deal. The right never have a problem investing in misinforming you. They never have a problem. Listen, the Tea Party in Kingwood, they just raised their hands up and the money flows. They raised their. We had a board elections for the school board. We finally got some very good progressive and moderate people running for those board positions, because the board is held solely by right wingers right now. And what do you think happened? We went ahead and slowly we asked for a few bucks here and there. We collected just a little bit of money from the left and the moderates. They raised their hands. They were able to bring in not $10,000, not $30,000, not $50,000. These are non-paid elections, and they brought in close to what I understand is over $100,000 in an election that doesn't really matter. That is what I've been told. Now think about this. We are here at KPFT for a show like this. We're asking to be able to inform and influence our communities, so that big money from those corporate donors who are going to be benefited from what, so that we can compete. We're not asking for what they're getting. We're willing to do the footwork. We're willing to talk to you every day. I am here talking not for pay, for free. Same, Greg, out there. We are doing this out of a moral responsibility.
It sure ain't because we're getting rich doing it.
Absolutely. So what we're asking you, give us a call, 713-526-5738. We so need you now. We have 13 minutes left. 713-526-5738. Trumpcare, yes.
Support the independent. Well, we're so proud to be independent, but support the progressive voice here in
Absolutely.
Houston. That's on the air. It's not a podcast. It's not in a way that we're off in some remote location. We're here in the community.
Absolutely.
And for you to call in live during the show, for us to take your calls, he makes sure that he brings you into the conversation. He being Egberto.
Yes,
of course.
we want to hear everybody's voice.
Yeah, we want to make sure that it's engaging, it's dynamic, and it's so wonderful when we do have that kind of participation, and we do each Thursday. And that's something I hope you do value. And but I spied a few extra really special performers that are coming in that I want to mention as well. If the book doesn't do it for you, I hope this will. Jason Isbell is coming into town. That's going to be July 18th at the Reventions Music Center. He also performed on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert on Monday. And that was a great performance as well. If you wanted to have a taste, of course, you could look him up that way if you don't already know about him. And that plays for 1 hour of Politics Done Right.
There you go.
So help us keep this hour funded.
The phones aren't ringing. We need those phones to ring. What else you got?
Flaming Lips, also the Revention. So let's see. The War on Drugs. Woo! Paul Wall is coming in June 23rd. That's going to be that's right around the corner. That's on so $100 will send you there at the White Oak Music Hall.
Are the Carolyn Wonderland tickets still available? I believe believe she's going to be at the Heights Theater, if I'm not mistaken.
They are still available, according to this list right here, at the Big Barn. They're
Folks,
coming.
the thing about Carolyn Wonderland is if you have never seen her, you want to see her. And if you have seen her, well, then you know you want to see her.
She's coming August 26th. That will be yours for a $120 donation here to KPFT, and that goes a long way. So please do pick up that phone and dial 713-526-5738. But I know you value this show. That's why you're here. That's why you're tuned in right now, because you depend on people like Egberto and Jeff and also many of our other talk show hosts to keep you informed, to bring you something that you can't find anywhere else. So
now
pick
it's
up that
time.
phone.
It's time for that rush, folks. This is the time that our rush normally comes in. So be a part of that rush. 713-526-5738. We need your calls. We need to keep Progressive Radio on air. This is the last progressive station in the entire Southeast Texas. 100,000 watts. We need to get your calls. Please give us a call at 713-526-5738. Remember, you are responsible. We all are responsible for our futures. We all are. Look, we can't complain, my dear friends, about how things are when you know. I mean, many of you go to Netflix and you pay a whole lot of money a month. Many of you go to HBO or your cable networks or and all these guys that are there to simply entertain but not necessarily to inform you. And you do it. Many of you go to your Starbucks and your other coffee shops and spend $3 a day or $5 a day or whatever. Can you spare some for a show that has a purpose, for a station, a radio station that has a purpose larger than all of us, a purpose of making sure that we get our messages out, that we make positive change in society, that we make positive change in our government. 713-526-5738. I'd love to hear those phones ring. 713-526-5738.
And it was sorry. Go
No,
ahead,
you go.
Greg.
You go.
It was nice to meet Marcus last week.
Yes, yes.
He is a passionate man. He understands
Right.
what these kind of community stations are all about. But one thing I really love about your program is that you bring in grassroots people
have
that
to.
are, organizing marches or, part of Resistance Houston or even throughout the state of Texas. Indivisible.
Yes.
So many fantastic organizations. And where else? It's a pleasure to meet them. They're so inspired.
We give people that normally don't have a voice, and that's what my show is all about as well. There are a lot of people out there that have a lot to say but never get to say it because nobody wants to take them seriously or give them a voice. You have a voice, folks, so please call 713-526-5738. Keep this on here. Greg, I feel like you wanted to come in.
Yeah, I wanted to add particularly, both of you have been saying, particularly what Shannon just said, is I do think that progressives are very good at getting angry. We're very good at being frustrated. We're not so good at being spurred into action, and that's what your show does. You do give people the opportunity to say, this is how you can make a difference. This is how you can get involved. And folks, it's really a waste of time. If you're just going to sit around and be mad about something, I say skip the news. Don't worry about it. If you're going to get involved and make a difference, then this is the show for you. This is the station for you. And believe me, this is the time for you.
713-526-5738. Folks, again, all we have is you. I mean, the other side have the Koch brothers, the corporations, the corporatocracy. They have all of that. We've only got you. I mean, that's all we have. We have you. You're the one who determines if we stay on air. You're the one who determines if we can really move our message, our ideology, if we can actually move forward with the changes we claim we want.
Don't let us down.
It is you. I mean, you can make that difference. It's not that other person that you're waiting on to call. It really is you.
Thank you for that call.
Thank you very much for that call. We cannot be waiting on somebody else. We have to be the ones that do it. And one of the problems we have is it's so easy to sit back and hear others do the job. Let me give a little quick story. I'm a software developer. Have a software company. That's where I made my living. Have several products on the market, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I also have a daughter, and I have a daughter close in age to Shannon. And one of the things that Shannon a little bit older, but
Hey.
but the thing about it is, I felt that, I've been complaining for years, I've been protesting for years, I've been doing all these things for years. I said, to really make a difference, what you have to do is sacrifice. And I decided that I was going to wind down my company and become a full-time activist, a full-time agent of change. And that's what I did. I reduced all my bills. I reduced a whole lot and decided this was what I was committed to full-time. In other words,
that's a hard decision to make.
It's a hard decision because software is lucrative. The thing about it is, there are a lot of things more important. My thing was, what kind of world was my daughter's going to live in? What kind of world is Shannon going to live in? What kind of world? And then the other thing that I always kept to the back of my head is I always had a sense of guilt that some of us older people got so many benefits that we are now not affording others. So many of us have so many benefits that we had so many benefits that we are not affording the millennials, that we are not affording some of the Gen Xers or Gen Ys. And I felt that responsibility deep and decided we have to make a difference. And I didn't say we have to make a difference. I said I was going to make a difference. And I urge others to make a difference. This is not some simple story or some feel-good story. This was a choice. And, you had to have a choice of whether you want to just lavishly live or whether you say, you know what, there are a lot of things more important. So I'm asking you to make a choice as well. 713-526-5738. Make that choice to support what we really stand for. Because it's very easy, as Greg said earlier, to complain. It's so easy to complain. It's so easy to be mad at what's going on, not realizing the power that we all have from within, that we can make a change from the grassroots. And it takes time and it takes effort and it takes consistency. We are here consistently. We are here every day. When things happen or not, we are here because we know that the time will come. 713-526-5738. Please make that call. Please make those calls. We need you so badly. Do we have anybody else to thank?
We have the person who is sitting there about to dial the phone to thank. So I suggest you dial right now because we want to thank you in the next 4 minutes. And if you call, we can do that. 713-526-5738.
Folks, we need you now. 713-526-5738. I know a lot of times you call, you come into the station, you figure, there we go again, another fun drive. Well, the last fun drive was 6-8 weeks ago? Thank you for that call.
I don't know.
But, folks, what we try to do is we try to mitigate those. We try to mitigate those. Is that a call in or is that a bad call?
No, it is a call.
Okay.
Yay, thank you so much for your support. During the same time that you were deciding to go in that direction, to give up so much of your steady, stable, secure career.
Right.
And because the people needed someone like you that was willing to stand up. I had been a recent graduate and wow, what's going on with that phone?
I don't know.
People are supporting us. That's what's happening.
Thank you. We need your support badly.
During that same time, I was, coming out of college and having issues, deciding which direction to go in. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't believe the media I did see, how corporate it was, how much it was commercialized, how much it just depended on just supporting who your company said to support.
Right. And
it really grossed me out. And then I saw also that, with my student loans and how difficult it was to get a job. It was seeing the state of reality. It shocked you in such a way I didn't know what to do, right? And so before I found KPFT, that was where I was. And, it really has changed my life and perspective on the world. I mean,
Shannon, let me tell you something. And that is when I hear your story, and I've heard several of your stories before, we take that seriously. And I think it's incumbent upon folks like myself who've had quite a few benefits and others to take that seriously as well. And we owe you so much. There are a lot of things that we need going forward to support our young people and make sure that we leave them a world where they can exist and they can be as comfortable as many of us were.
And there's so many of us that have KPFT stories like that,
Absolutely.
What KPFT has done for us. And I hope you have a story like that too. I mean, maybe not to the same level or, but there might be just that one show that speaks to you, or maybe it's certain, specific issues. but I hope we do serve you in such a way that it brings a fresher look at the world, something that's true.
Look, folks, give me a call now. I'll go in there and I'll go answer that phone right now. 713-526-5738. Give me a call now. You'll get me as soon as our program is done in 1 minute. I'll be going in there and taking some more calls. If you'll just give me a call, 713-526-5738. You want to tell me a story? You want to tell me something you want me to talk about next week? 713-526-5738. We still have 50 seconds. 713-526-5738. Thank you so kindly for all of those who have given. I need you to call now. 713-526-5738. I'm going in there to take those calls, so please don't let me go there and not have a phone to answer. 713-526-5738. This is Politics Done Right. I'm Egberto Willies. You have a wonderful day.
Egberto Willies. Thank you very much for listening to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Willies. You can personally reach me by sending an email to egberto@politicsdoneright.com. Remember, Egberto is spelled E-G-B-E-R-T-O. Change starts with you. 90.1 KPFT gives you information not tainted by corporate interest. Please visit kpft.org and contribute. Let's ensure continued access to real information and news remain available to all. Again, thank you very much for listening to Politics Done Right.